it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I've got a quick mini album for you, an envelope mini, and it's made out of the Memories and More Night Before Christmas card and envelope set. Memories and More cards and envelopes, yeah. That's exactly. This is actually now reduced on the closeout sale. We use 4 envelopes and I think 4 cards. So I've decorated the front, and this is all waiting for photos to go in. These are from the heirlooms set, which I just think make beautiful album there. So this is going to be a quick album, and I'm going to show you how I put it together, and then I'm going to show you how I filled it as well. And by the power and the magic of filming ahead of time and cutting and pasting, I can now show you what it looks like in the end. And here is it complete, just by magic. So I'm really happy with it. I think it's lovely, and I will enjoy flicking through that every now and again to remind me of what a lovely day it was. And I just thought I'd take the opportunity to remind you of the other envelope mini album I made using these cards and using the Memories and More cards. I didn't use the envelopes in this, but I have used the Memories and More cards, which are on reduced now on the closeout, on our closeout event. So yeah, and I have got an online class that's available through my blog. If you log on to there, and you can buy the online class to show you how I made this lovely album, which I will be filling this Christmas, and I may well bring it back to you filled, but I'm really excited about filling that. So I'm going to use 4 of these envelopes. I just think these envelopes are gorgeous and they're wonderful quality, so making mini albums with them is just great because, as I say, they are nice and thick, and I will use some of these cards as well. So quite a quick little simple mini album. We're going to start with just slotting the envelopes together. Now they've got a white inside, so I was thinking, that's not quite how I wanted to do it, but if I slot it that way, then you still get this beautiful design, and you don't see the white on the inside. So that is how we're gonna do that. So we do put the 2 of them together like so. Give that a bit of a crease. So then we've got our 2 like so, and then what we want to do is, with your non-envelope back, your front of your envelope there, put that one down, put this point in there to join in the same way as we have done the others, and then that joins that together, and then we have that to come over the back like so. So that gives us our pages, and I wouldn't add many more because now you've got a bit of a bulk there, so that's going to fold over, and you've got a slight bit of a spine there, so you don't want to add really any more because it would just get too fat. But I just wanted this to have a few of special photos in there to remind me of a fantastic day. I'm going to now glue these in place. So I'm going to use Tombow. It is pretty well held in place, but I just want to give it a little bit of extra security. So I'm going to take this end one out, and I'm just going to put glue on this triangular section of the envelope so that that is still open, so there is the possibility of having pockets in there. And until I start putting my photos and memories in there, I don't know if I want pockets yet, so that needs to push down a little bit more. And there. Trouble is the Tombow is already gluing. So now that one's stuck, we'll stick that one. We can't really get into that one now. Could do a slower acting glue. And you could try and put them all in at about the same time. There we go. So that's stuck in there. We can use that as a pocket, or we can cover it up. That one's not stuck down, but I will stick stuff on that to make sure that it is. And there we have our pages. I'm not going to glue that down until I've finished all of the decoration, because it will grow a bit. But that is the basis of our book. So what I want to do is cover these bits, and that's when I thought I'd use my card. So on the section there where we've got all the envelope gubbins, I'm going to stick this, and I'm going to use a frame on that side for a photo, and then this side I might add a pocket and have some journaling. I'm not going to use that, but I might use that on the front, because I think that's quite a nice little look for the front. So I'm going to trim these down to go on. So I'm going to go slightly the other side of the scoring so that we get a nice clean cut. And then we need to trim. I'm deciding whether or not I wanted to trim the length. I might take just a smidge off the length. Smidge being a technical term for very small. So I might just line it up there with the edge there of the trimmer, and that is a smidge. Okay, so that will go on there nicely. Like the look of that. And then I might do the same on these. So I want two more. I might do one with the stars around to have a little bit of journaling in there. So I took that edge off. We're going to take a smidge. So I'm going to take the same amount off as I did before, and that will go nicely there. So we need to do another card. So I just think it's a nice way, an alternative way of using this set of cards, which are, they're reduced at the moment in the closeout. So bargain. So out of this one pack of cards, I've made some cards. I want that one, don't I? I've made some cards, and I've made a largest mini album, a more intricate mini album, and then I'm making this little one, and I still have some left over. So one there nicely for the front. Then we're going to have no stars, stars, no stars. Have I cut this one down? No, I think it needs a smidge off the bottom. Like so. And then we need one for the back. And I might put stars on the back as well, so that the back cover and the front cover do match. I may of course change my mind when it comes to it. So that's those all ready. I'm going to get, this is Merry Merlot's, Merry Merlot ink, and I'm going to ink up the edges because we have got the white core of the card showing through. So I've got my sponges here ready. So I'll get the Merry Merlot sponge out. Get the Merry Merlot ink, which of course I didn't bring to the table. And I just, as I say, I just want to cover the core up so that we can't see it. I'll do that on all of the cards, but I imagine you don't want to watch me do this, so I will speed this section up. So they're all done, and I'm going to cut the frames now, and I think I'm going to use this cardstock because there is a slight difference in the colour of the cherry cobbler cardstock, so I'm going to use this so that they match better. And I'm going to use the lovely heirloom frames. So you get these lovely frames and the embossing folder together in the set. And I just, when I saw these, I just thought, mini album, that's what we've got to do. So I'm going to alternate between the oval and the rectangle. Let me see, I need 1, 2, 3. So I might do 1 rectangle and 2 ovals. And I'll have to either put a photo in or some journaling in. I haven't quite decided. I could do cream on that side actually, there's an idea. So I'm gonna get these ready. Those are all the ones that I've inked. So I'm thinking I might be able to get 2 out of 1 sheet. Certainly get a rectangle there. No, I can't. So, but I can get one out and have some spare. So I need to cut these down and then get them cut out. So I shall do that and come back to you. So I've cut out my frames, and I've got the ovals and the rectangles from the middle, which I could use in my album, so I shall put those to one side. And so now I need to emboss them. So the set comes with the dies and the embossing folder, and it's these that make the frames look stunning. So yeah, I want to put it face down. Oh, do you know, now I've got to remember. That's going to, yeah, that's going to be pushed in there, so that's right. What I've done is I've put washi tape over where this needs to go to be centered. I've watched different people line these up. Some people just do it by eye. Some people stick the bit that you cut out on here somewhere. Tried that, didn't work. So once I'd embossed and got the perfect frame, I stuck washi tape on so I knew where it had to go, and then that can just be embossed. And the same for the oval. So this is the bit that goes in, this is the bit that comes up. So I put the right side to the bit that goes in. You can use the frame the other way around, so you could do it the other way around. So stick that. It's a little bit more difficult on the oval, so I do end up doing a little bit of a fiddle on the oval, but that looks about right, so I'll get them embossed. So that's the embossing done, and I think you'll agree those frames just look stunning, and I just think they will look fabulous with my graduation photos. So these are my thoughts. That we have those on that side. Now I have got a very vanilla frame cut. I can't find it right now. It's just going to have a little skeg what it would look like with the vanilla frame, but I can't find it. So that's like that. I might put the square one next to that one so that the, oh no, I have to do oval, square, oval, that's the way I've done it. Cute. Well, it's not cute. I think it's elegant, actually. I think that's gorgeous. Love that. It's just lovely. Now these will, like I did before, I'm going to want to take the white core off. So I'm going to go round the edges to take that white core off so you don't see it when it's stuck in. And of course we're going to have to go around the inside as well. It's cut on both sides. That'll work lovely. So I'll go and finish those off and then we'll do the next stage. There we are, so they're all done, ready. And now you might have noticed that I'm using Merry Merlot ink and not the cherry cobbler, but I actually thought that that looked better than the cherry cobbler. That's because it's not exactly cherry cobbler that it had a nicer finish. So I want to put just some simple journaling on the front there, and I'm gonna die cut out Happy Day from A Wish for Everything, which I haven't brought to the table, but then why would I? So I'm going to use, well, it's Word Wishes. A Wish for Everything is the stamp set. So I'm just going to do Happy Day, because it was a very happy day. So what do I find? So that's the happy. And there's the day. And I just think that will look just lovely on the front, like so. So I'll get those cut out. I'm going to do that in very vanilla, and I think that will make it sort of pop really well. So as I was cutting these out, I suddenly had this brainwave, because there's stars on the front, that I might use my Stitch Star dies, which I haven't used yet. So I've chosen 3 stars and these little edges, and it's really cool that they give you 5. So I've done all that in one pass. That'll be a big shot. Aren't they pretty? So not quite sure where these all go now. I will be taking them off this and putting it in, putting it on a magnetic sheet, because I can't be doing with these sticky labels. I can't get them off, so it does me head in, and now I don't know where that one goes. There we go. And then we've got the words. So we need to start, just poke these out. I've got a brush, but I'll just poke these out. So there's our happy. There's our day, and then we've got some stars, which I just thought would look nice scattered around the happy day, because there's stars in the background. Just thought that was cute. Not sure how many I will need. And then I thought these would look nice in each corner, just to give it a bit of a classy look, because it was a bit of a classy day. Brush those off later. So that is what I was thinking. Now, although I've got that, I might recut one that's a little bit more ornate. Because everything else is a bit ornate. So I might cut 3 of those out and not actually. Put the big one under there and have 2 little ones that match. I think that would be better. So I'll quickly cut another one out. So whilst I was die cutting the little star to see if that would look better than having a big one, I've done this swirl as well, and you get these little stars that come out, and I thought that it might be quite nice to sort of have this star theme going through the album. But we shall see. I don't over embellish my albums when I make them, because I do find that I make my mind up as I'm putting in my photos and my journaling, I tend to sort of embellish in that as I go along. So I don't have I never sort of make the pages and then stuck that in the wrong way round. Oh dear. Oops. Yeah, I see layouts where people have done it all and then they've just left photo mats for sticking the photo on. But I'm like, well, what if my photo goes the other way? What if I've stuck a landscape photo mat and I've got a portrait photo? So I don't tend to do that, although it isn't a bad idea. It would make it a lot quicker. So I might give that a little bit of a whirl. But as this is only going to be a few pages long for one occasion, I'm hoping that it won't take long to do. So that's just going to get stuck on. So I'll stick it on the right way. See, I don't necessarily learn from my mistakes, I keep making them. So my little glue rubber is going to be coming out. Cover those up. Don't mind these words, you've got some nice thick bits. So it's quite easy to put on there. Was a very happy day because it was my birthday as well as my graduation, which I loved. When I got the letter through to tell me the date of my graduation, it was like, yes, I'm gonna end up with my birthday off. And my birthday fell on a Thursday and I didn't work Fridays, so it was like, yay, I've got a really long weekend. How fantastic. Best birthday present ever. So we had the graduation on the Thursday and then we went away for a long weekend. It was just grand. I was trying to think there's a bit of like a big gap at the bottom. If I'd have pulled them down a little bit, that might have looked better, but I didn't, so that's the end of that. And I will be stopping and washing my hands before I go any further, I think. And I will definitely be using my glue rubber to clean these bits up. So that's my cover. Go on there. Keep it simple. I'm not going to stick it down because I might end up putting a bit of ribbon around there to tie it up. So I'm going to wait to the end because I don't know how big it needs to be, but that's going to look very elegant, I think. So I've gone and collected some photos, Obviously it's not going to hold very many, it's only a tiny album, and it is my plan, it was 5 years ago, to do a much bigger album, but this would be a start. So I just took a photo of my official photo. It's me and Ed having lunch. That was on the chalkboard outside the pub where we had lunch, and that was the graduation bear that I got afterwards. That's me standing outside the graduation ceremony, sort of big banner, and there's me. I put my glasses on to make me look intelligent, because if you've got a master's degree you might think you might be intelligent. So my ideas are, I've got some other photos here, is I posted on Facebook, and this was November the 13th. I know Halloween was last week because I'm wearing fancy dress. I'm looking forward to a great day, and hope I don't trip, because obviously you've got to walk across the stage. So I thought I quite like that as the opening one in the album. And then my thoughts were, I'm going to put the teddy on the other side, so it's like quite a light-hearted sort of beginnings. And then on this page, I think that fits really nicely with that. And then I thought that one, because I'm looking a bit clever, and I've got the nice stars around there, and I might put some extra little stars to tie in maybe that flourish as well. That was just some ideas of what I might do there. And then we've got this sort of last page, and that's my favourite graduation picture, which Ed took. And then I've got this picture of the two of us, which I thought I'd put inside that oval on that side. So that was kind of my ideas. I'm going to probably print off some journaling or whatever to fill it, but that is how I'm thinking they're going to go. So I'm going to start sticking things in. So now I'm happy, I'm going to glue these in, because I do share my stuff on social media, and I thought that actually it might be nice to see it without the photos in first, to give people their own ideas of what they could do themselves. So I'm going to stick all the panels on now. Now that I know what photos are going in, so I'm quite happy about that. So I'm quite happy that I don't want pockets, but I am gonna stick these few photos in. I was actually quite surprised. I thought it had more photos of the day. I may well have used a handheld camera, so there might be some more somewhere else, but I'm not sure. I've searched through my different hard drives where I've got photos saved, and I've got lots of photos of the actual birthday weekend, because we then did go away for the weekend. That's sort of another aspect. And I've got lots of sort of memorabilia and things as well, birthday cards, congratulations cards, tickets, etc. to add. And my mother and father-in-law attended, so I have got some pictures with them somewhere. So when I do the big album, I will add those. Just realised I've stuck the front on and I haven't put the ribbon that I was going to put in underneath. Oh, what a wally. Never mind. decide then we're not going to do it with a ribbon. So that needs sticking down. Yeah, I was going to do a little ribbon. Oh well, we'll have it without. We'll have it without a closure. It'll just be an album that you open. So we need to glue this down. I'm not gluing it down really tight so that it can move a tad. Put this on the back. So what I'm going to do is take photos at this stage and then I'll come back to you and we'll stick it all in so you can see the finished product. Because I think you often don't see that when people make albums. You don't often see the actual end of it. So I've got my photos that I decided to use. So we are starting with the Facebook page, and that is trimmed quite nicely. I've got one of those little selfie, Canon selfie printers, so these just printed off my phone, and I use an app to make the smaller ones. So we're just going to stick in the pictures. So I'm going to use my Tombow because I'm sure it's photo safe. Find out, won't I? So let's stick that in there. God, this is such a rarity for me to actually stick photos in an album. So I am thinking of doing a series in the new year, a scrapbooking series. I thought if I make videos of sticking photos into the albums, then they might actually get finished. So that was a little brainwave I had. So what I need is a little trimmer. When I've got a little small guillotine that I've had for years, but it's getting a little bit rubbish. So I need a new one. Oh, that one's going to be, this is for Teddy, isn't it? But yeah, you might have some news on that by the time this video comes out. So I'm just going to mark there where I want to take it off, and then I will snip. There's a little bit of fast fuse on the back of these where I temporarily attach them for my photos. So that can get attached. How cute. Love that Teddy. That was when I had my first graduation, when I did my first degree. I never bought a Teddy, which was a bit of a, this is my scrapbooking tape, which I'm going to use on the back here. Yeah, it was a bit of a moot point that I never got a bear, so I was determined to get a bear for this, and I did. And he sits with my beloved Stife bear that my youngest bought me. First year he went to uni. He's in York, and they've got a teddy bear shop in York, and he bought me a Stife bear because he said, "You'll never buy one yourself, Mum, and you really want one." So so I've bought you one, so now you've got one, which I thought was lovely. Now I think I'm not going to centre that because I think I might put some journaling across there. No, I will centre it because it will annoy me. So I'm going to stick some tape on the back here for some extra security. So that it doesn't slip. Because I've had that before sometimes. That'll be alright, don't need to do any more. I might take those backings off now, so take out some of the bulk. Can't believe it's taken me 5 years to get this far. If my sister's watching this, she'll say it took you 30 years to do my wedding album. And my niece will be there going, and where's my wedding album? Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. That's why I'm going to do a series on scrapbooking, and then it'll get done. Stick that in. And I chose to do this because the colours of the gown, my graduation, the hood, had this sort of burgundy colour in it, so I thought it would work really well. So here I want to put this chalkboard and me looking intelligent for a change. So I might just trim a bit of that down. I do wear glasses to drive, and if I go to the theatre, watch a film, etc. Which reminds me, I'm going to the cinema tonight. I need to remember to take my glasses. The amount of times I forget, and then the screen's all a little bit blurred. So off to see Last Christmas tonight. So looking forward to it. But yeah, so I had my glasses with me so that I could actually see the stage. I might trim a bit more of that off. I think we've got a little bit too much ceiling going on there. And then I might round the edges as well of that one. So that'll stick nicely in there. So if I start at the C, I'll have to be a little bit more centred than that. Might lose a little bit of the C. If I go down a bit. Just thought this was cute. I know it was a bit of a stunt. It got us into the restaurant to eat, but it was kind of actually where we were planning on going anyway, so that was all right. So it was just a nice touch. It's right near the City Hall, and we've been there before for pre-wedding drinks. I've had a sister-in-law and a brother-in-law, so Ed's brother and sister both got married, not to each other. Got married in the City Hall, and before both weddings we went for drinks in this bar that's right near City Hall. I won't name it because that's like advertising, isn't it? But I liked it. And one of my favourite photos of me and Ed, which hangs on our Christmas tree. So I've got little frames, and I put some of our favourite photos in these like gilt frames that were Christmas bauble things. And yeah, that one's on there from in there. So it was a nice memory. So Ed's mum took us out for lunch, said you decide where you want to go. So it was like, yeah, we want to go in there. Can't remember what I had, but I liked it. And that appealed to me that it had this on. Well, clearly because I took a photo of it. and it's got the date, which I like as well, so it's like a little bit of journaling. Right, corner rounder is required for this photo. So that the edges aren't quite so harsh. Like that. And I say I've got the little stars that I might stick around. Not that I can find them right now. I have managed to move them. Oh no, I can't see them. Ah, there they are. Dropped a few stars on the floor. But I'm not going to stick them on until I've got the journaling. Jez Potter. My sister took a picture of me with my sister's glasses on. Put it on Facebook and put Jez Potter, as in Harry Potter, in case you didn't get the reference. Oh. Yes, you do get wigglage, Jez, but you didn't actually want it there, did you? There we go. Liking that. And then this one is going to have that picture and that one. So I need to trim this down. I've trimmed him, and I'm just going to stick him. So I'm going to stick that on the top. This is double-sided tape. So just stick them in there to anchor it. And then I will put some Tombow on. And I'm going to stick some embellishments and some journaling, and I'm probably going to type some German in. I don't particularly like my handwriting, and I do put bits of handwriting because I think it's important for people left behind after you go to see handwriting. I've been archiving my mother's photos, and although it makes me weep a bit, it is lovely to see her handwriting. So I do handwrite little bits, but I do. I like to do sort of typed as well. So that's coming along nicely. So I've printed. So what I do is I just went through and just looked at the photos and I thought, oh, what do I want to say? The other thing is then that can spell check. So I went through them each, printed them off in one of my favourite fonts, Noteworthy, and I printed it off. First I printed it off. I then thought of some more. I got some emojis that I wanted to put on, particularly the first one because it's referenced to Facebook, and then I thought, well, I'll just continue it on. So what I'm going to do is just cut these out. I'm going to use my trimmer so that it's in a straight line. I quite like the idea of having them I was thinking of saving a bit of cardstock here, so I might cut down here. So I can use that for, oh, I can't anyway, but I can use the back of it a bit. There we go. So Put that across there. And the other side. I think I'll find it easier doing it this way. No, I won't, because it's not got enough on it. This is where a tiny little guillotine is perfect for the job. I used to do creative memories years and years ago. Looks like I'll be printing that again. Dear oh dear. I'm obviously not looking properly because I'm looking from further away from an angle. It's better. There we go. So I'm just going to carry on doing these, and I'll be sticking another one in to do that last one. I'm not sure if I'm not going to cut this out with a die. Will they fit in one of these a little bit better? Would be if I'd had a little bit more room up there. So that one's no good. A bit of forethought. Yeah, I can take it out of the square. Would be better in an oval. Okay, so I'll do that in a bit. Let's trim these others off and see how they're going to go. So I'm just going to be sticking them in like so. I think on the frame would be good. Could put it down below with a bit of that in the background. What have we got here? Do they look clever in these? That's quite funny. And we'll have Jez Potter at the top. Gonna get my long scissors to trim that top a bit because it's too long. So we got a bit of Jez Potter, and I might put a few stars. Around there, and then I thought I might put that there, and then we've got a graduation bear. That's a little poke at the fact that I didn't get a graduation bear first time round, so I need to print off this one a second time to go in there. Right, so I think we might just trim graduation bear down a tad. and then we'll stick him on. So I think these are just little finishing touches that bring it to life and make it your own. And gives a little bit of background and date. You can of course write more. So that's a little bit of context there. Do that one again. Bit of Jez Potter. Because that made me laugh. And I think my actual words to Ed was, oh, let me put my glasses on so I look clever. I think we will put. Right, my camera got full before I finished. I think I was sticking these on, can't remember where I got to it. So I stuck these on, stuck the end on, and so then I had to go and reprint. So I've reprinted, and this is what I often do is rather than putting a whole piece of cardstock, sometimes what I do is I print my journal in onto a piece of paper, then I know exactly where I need to put the card, and I sometimes cut little bits out and then I just stick it down lightly with a bit of repositional tape, and then I can take it off. And I redid that one so that I can die cut it with my stitched oval, because that's what I really want to do. And so it's only a bit of cardstock, so I'm gonna cut that out with that because I think that looked nice. So let's cut this down first and not mess it up. So I've done quite a bit of filming today, so that's why my phone was getting full. So I didn't notice that it stopped filming, but I was probably going to speed that bit up anyway because you kind of got the general idea. Now I'm taking no chances with this because I don't want it messed up. So I'm gonna cut my diagonals. And then cut it along. Like so. Love my long scissors. I think that's funny. That's going on there. I think I need to trim it a tad. Do I? That'll do. And then I need to die cut the other. So I'm going to stick this in and then die cut my oval. Yeah, I'll stick it down there. So now we just need to do the back and decide whether or not I want to do any more embellishments. So I'm just going to get that cut out. Okay, so I've die cut my oval, and whilst I had the die cutter, I die cut some of these little elements from the stitch stars, and I thought that I might stick these. I was trying to decide if I wanted that on there or a star. think these look nice. Makes it look classy and official. I did toy with the idea of printing this in cherry cobbler to match, but I went black in the end because sometimes it might be a bit off and then it actually looks worse. Rather it be absolutely different than slightly the same. So I'll just put a little bit Tombow on this. Stick it down. Don't know why I reminded myself that I turned 50 even on the day I graduated, and that it was 5 years ago. Not something I really want to think about, but I did. There we go, like that. So I shall put this on the shelf with other albums that I've done, because I have done some albums. Just haven't done all the ones that I want to do. So there we have it. That's it. Finished. Didn't really take that long. Yeah, quite a nice little keepsake and really handy to do. I recently went away for a weekend with my sisters to Butlins for an 80s weekend. That would be perfect. Put a few photos in something like this to remember. Also had a lovely weekend in Ireland, and my brother came to that one as well, and his wife Ali, and we had a lovely time. And again, it would be lovely to do a little quick thing like this. Got a little bit of glue inside those stars, but yeah, so hope you like that. All the details will be over on nigezza.co.uk. Should be a link coming up there. Please like and subscribe. Please go and explore some more if you're new to me. If you'd like to take advantage of the fact that these envelopes and cards are discounted, then do pop over to my shop, and you can also get the dies and the embossing folders that I've used as well from there. See you again soon. Bye bye.